OMG Nomad. Why do you hate charge, folks? Article updated. May the 17th, 2006. You guys finally made me do it! Anyone who knows me, I know AI hate charge Vulcans with a passion. I could go about explaining this many ways, but I'll just list the reasons, and then a few rebuttals I get from people who try to defend their use of things. No BS, just the answers some of you apparently want. Now don't say I never did you any favors. Reason 1. Charge is the cheapest special in the game. If you're asking yourself, what does Nomad mean cheap? Charge uses Masada! You'll probably be doing yourself a favor by not reading the rest of this page, because you probably wouldn't get it. That said, let's take a look at the 3 sacrificial specials. Berserk! Sacrifices HP, regularly puts the player in a dangerous situation where at least some survival skill is necessary to not get killed after using it. Spirit! Sacrifices TP, occasionally catches the player off guard without the ability to rest her. Stop working at low TP can only be used so many times as it puts a serious strain on fluid resources. And Charge! Sacrifices Meseta, no risk to player. Can easily be used indefinitely as the player can potentially carry nearly 1,000,000 Meseta at a time. This is reinforced in a multi-online game because, thanks to Moon Atomizer's Reverser, there's a little chance of losing that Meseta. The habit can be supported simply by picking up armor/shields to sell. Do you see what I'm talking about here? Reason 2. Hunters aren't supposed to use the powerful mech guns to do their damage. The most powerful non-S-rank mech gun a hunter can equip is an LNK-14 combat or twin cycle gun. For a good reason. Hunters are supposed to use blades and low-powered/inefficient guns, while rangers are meant to use efficient guns and weak melee weapons. Some rangers, particularly Ramals, can pull off a part melee strategy, but their damage pales in comparisons to the hunters. In case we are forgetting about sacrificial specials though. Here's an ugly truth about PSO and how badly it was coded. Using a high hit charge Vulcans, hunters can outdamage rangers with significantly rare weaponry. See Reason 5. Read that sentence again. Hunters are outdamaging rangers with a ranger style weapon. That's not right! Reason 3. Hunters are supposed to take damage as well as dish it out. A hunter is supposed to do awesome damage, true. The thing that many hunter players, particularly Volcors, fail to realize or remember is that the hunter has another purpose. He's supposed to be in the fray, taking hits as well as giving them, so that Ramar in the back can get his frozen shooter to connect, and so the force won't be too busy covering his own ass to heal and support the party. PSO is a game where you're supposed to support each other. Forces are not only support characters. Forces support with healing and power boosting techniques. Rangers support by using their high accuracy to freeze troublesome enemies and cut down their health. And hunters support by keeping the monster's eye on them so that the other two can do their jobs. And that means getting in the fray. By no means am I suggesting damage dealing isn't part of any player's strategy. If you were to tell me that a force's sole purpose is to cast healing and support techniques, I'd call you a complete idiot. But hunter Volcors seem to be so concerned with dealing with the uberest damage that they neglect their support role and subsequently screw the party over. Reason 4. Volcors often steal from other people. The scene is all too familiar. A low-level character, let's say a Rakast in the 90s to 100s, start up a force run, leaving a game open, so maybe he can get some help, because obviously his power is nothing great yet. But nope, the first joiner happens to be a Hucast, level 180-something, sporting a maxed-out ATP and a pair of charged Vulcans. From the moment he comes out from the pipe, the Hucast seems to go crazy for EXP, gunning down every bottle in his path with charge-enhanced power that can only be described as, quote, overkill, unquote, giving his level and location. The poor Rakast can barely keep up, has frequently tagged with his shot or rifle, and has zero time to do anything else, such as feeding his mag, as this would cost him another 2,000 or 3,000 EXP thanks to his inconsiderate bot. I'm not saying that all charged Vulcan users are so inconsiderate, although there does seem to be a correlation. But in the hands of a high-powered character, particularly Huma or Hucast, a charged Vulcan can be so lethal that it can combo kill an enemy before the other players can tag it. Remember, PSO is a team game. You're not the only hero here. It's not a race to see who can kill the enemies faster. Slow the fuck down! By playing the strategy of a Hucast, in the example above, you're pretty much condemning those with techniques to get off a quicker Zonde as they enter the room. And that probably be their only hit. And as for the like of the recast in the example who aren't so lucky to have techniques, what about a Hucast who doesn't use Vulcans? They get off a shot or two with their handgun at best, all to support a steamroller style experience, whoring, demonstrated by the Vulc user. I don't know you, but when I do tag, I'm not having fun. If you want to play a game where you kill everything as fast as you can, play offline or play another game. When you're playing with others, either be considerate of their fun too, or get the hell out. Reason 5. Charged Vulcans are easy to get, yet they do damage far beyond many rare weapons. It's a win-win situation, right? Screw hunting that Monkey King bar, or the Zamba, or the sword with a hit percentage, or the Orisa stone to make a rainbow baton. After level 150, charged Vulcans can appear in the shop. When they do, they can be bought as many times as the player likes, provided they have the Meseta. And they do damage that can blow other weapons out of the water. What's wrong with that? I'll tell you what, there are people who spend the long hours relentlessly beating down gold vermers looking for that red sword, or roaming the forest looking for some fearsome Hildators to get an Orisa stone. It's not to do damage, it's to display to your friends and allies that yes, you spent the time necessary to earn that weapon. That does so much damage. Ever hunted a Yasmin Cove 9000M? It's not fun, I've done them before, and I currently use one on my Ramar. That one was a trade, but the principle remains the same since I hunted something else to trade away. They represent my time spent hunting them, and I have no regrets when I do some pretty good damage with them. And yet, the Yaz 9K would be rendered insignificant by a weapon bought from the shops in 2 seconds? There is no dignity in using a weapon you bought from the shops that can do such astronomical damage. Here, I will repeat the rule of thumb that I will tell everyone who asks me this question. Either earn your powerful weapons, or don't be powerful. I have more respect for the Hucast who pulls out an LNK-14 combat than the one who pulls out the Charged Vulcans. For this reason.
Charged Vulcans do the most damage, so I'm going to use them.
If you can't see a value in a weapon besides its simple damage-dealing potential, if you're so narrow-minded that you think maximizing your power is the only thing that matters, then I'm sorry. I don't want to play with you. Reread the 5 reasons above, and if you're still not convinced, go play a game where doing damage is all that matters, because it isn't PSO.
It charges the least accurate of the 3 sacrificial specials, so it's okay.
Bullshit. It's not a big enough difference. A charged Vulcans with significant hit percentage will do just as much as, say, a Vice with a hit percentage. But a Vice is much rare since it can't be bought, and there's the Berserk versus Charge thing. See rule number 1? I've had people remind me constantly how Charge is slightly less accurate than Spirit and Berserk. Then they go right ahead and continue whoring the Vulcans, thus nullifying the whole argument. If you care so much about the difference in accuracy, why not use a Spirit or Berserk Vulcans instead? Obviously, the difference isn't enough for you to use Berserk/Spirit over Charge, so don't pretend you can justify yourself with this.
Burning Macedo's a handicap tool.
Get real! A monkey could play this game and pick up enough Maceta and sellable items to support your Charge habit.
But how am I supposed to do damage with my Hellcast if I don't use Vulcan Berserk?
That's up to you. I've seen some people make berserking droids work, and by, quote, work, unquote, I mean restoring their own HP with a gush weapon, not expecting the foe to mash Resta on their selfish ass. It is my opinion that droids, Hellcast in particular, should not use sacrificial specials. They're supposed to do damage comparable to the weaker classes without needing them. Hellcast was made to have the highest ATP of any class hands down. Why you feel the need to extend that as if you were competing in some imaginary pissing contest is beyond me. But if you're going to do it with some dignity. Berserk and heal yourself, or don't do sacrificial damage at all.
But he has a cool yellow spark effect! LOL!
Choke! Please!